Okay. Mr. Dean Smith asking you to take your top off again.
Oh my god.
Is it Dean?
Guys,
Is that your mate, Dean?
no, he's called Dean Woodcock.
Not a burner account.
I would expect that kind of shit from him.
That's true. So, you're saying, Christian, sorry.
Yeah, a bit of a technical glitch. Yeah, so
you're talking about ex-managers, and I think you make a really good point there. I'll let you finish what you're going to say, and then I want to talk about it.
yeah, so I think with the United fan base, it always seems to be this split. That always, no matter how toxic it gets in the end, and it's obvious that guy needs to move on. There's always this split in the fan base, and I don't think it helps matters. And even as far as when the manager is gone, they then still want that guy back. And I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen it as bad with United. In fact, with other fan bases, it's weird. Like you could say, I suppose Arsenal have a bit of a situation with it, when they've wanted managers out, but you don't usually get the split then and saying, "Oh, no, we want Unai Emery back." And it's just a bit of a strange one. What's your take on it?
Yeah, no, I think it's really interesting. I do wonder if people who actually really are supporting it, Ruben Amorim, have you been at the same juncture throughout every single ex-manager? The answer's probably yes.
Is this their MO?
Probably is a case of the same people that are really sticking by Ruben Amorim now are probably the same ones that think Jose got sacked at the wrong time. Ollie should have got more time. Maybe even Van Gaal shouldn't have got sacked after winning a trophy.
Ten Hag should have had another year.
Ten Hag should have had more time. So the thing is with Ten Hag, I mean, people wrote an open letter to Ineos to keep Ten Hag. So yeah, look, I think there's definitely something in that where they are. We have this issue at the club where people do look back, and that's the thing where every single time a manager got sacked for Man United post Fergie, I thought it was either the right time or too late. At not one point did I think we should give them any more time. I thought all of them were too late, except maybe Ollie. Obviously, Ten Hag should have gone after the final, win or lose. Moyes was a bad appointment from day one. Never could really be the manager of Man United, and I think that's a big thing on like fans of this club. We just stand by anything, and we stand by any old players.
It does feel a bit like blind faith, and no matter how it's as if, Alex, I sometimes feel like some fans have this thing about them where they will always stand by, and it's this sense of blind faith loyalty. No matter how shit it gets, they think it's a flex to go, I still stand by it. Yeah. No, have a bit of standards. What's wrong with having some standards for your club? Because I tell you what, it's exactly what I'd have. I'm in a completely different boat. I would never say to get rid of my manager, but we are talking different spheres here. You know what I'm saying?
There's a defiance to the fan base, I think, and I think they just don't like. They never want to be those fans that. It's not about saying sack someone. It's about demanding better. And like I said, Ruben Amorim is on pace for 36.5 points over his first 38 games as Manchester United manager. That's good to get you relegated 9 times in the last 20 years. It's unacceptable. You're coming at me going, well, it's got to get better. Christian, let's talk about some of the details from Saturday. Obviously, Sunday. First, I want to talk about big thing you spoke about when Mbeumo came in. I said the same thing. This is now your time, Amorim, to show us the 3-4-3. Show us the ceiling of this formation, because you've been saying you've got to play a back five. We've got to play Casemiro, Ugarte. Don't be benching Ahmad. Game 1, okay, big team, Arsenal. What does he do? You said this. Should not happen. It did happen. Amad Diallo was on the bench. Amad Diallo came on, was really good when he came on, obviously. And Mbeumo was good, to be fair. I'm not having to go at Mbeumo. It's not his fault. He's been brought into the same position. Is Amad Diallo going to play or not? This is the thing. Game 1, back 5 at Old Trafford. Unacceptable, Christian. You want to talk about this?
Yeah, so it's something I brought up quite a long time ago when obviously all links were happening with Mbeumo, and I said, if this comes in, and I was predicting maybe 3-4 months down the line, if you were getting, found out in that position in terms of your right wing back, I would have been like, I can see maybe him going back to Dalot. I did not expect it game day 1. I really didn't. Even though I predicted this would happen, I didn't think it would be this early. And I think the fact he has gone this early, what I would ask these United fans that are strongly for Amorim and all happy with the signings, well, if he was to tell you then, before he went and signed Mbeumo, that his plan was to bench Ahmad, would you have stood by that signing? Or would you have said, no, that is a madness, why are we doing that? Of all the areas we need to get better in, you're going to improve an area where we're actually fine in. and a guy who would start for most Premier League sides.
That's the thing. Cunha was basically the only real addition to what we had last season, because you had Sesko on the bench, which is understandable. You had Mbeumo replaced Diallo. Maybe Mbeumo's slightly better, certainly more of a goal threat, but it's not the ceiling raiser we were expecting with this team.
No.
And I'm very disappointed that if it's going to be 5 defenders, Dalot is not good offensively. Patrick Dorgu has moments where he does stuff, but he's not consistently a threat, and he's not. Every so often he'll put in a good cross, and he hit a great strike at the weekend, in fairness to him, hit the post, he was unlucky. Dalot's poor offensively. He might be aesthetically pleasing with his ball.
Yeah, you know what you get. You know what you get.
His crossing's atrocious. Patrick Dorgu is at least a very, very young player. Potential. I think that was a big thing, and another thing that came, obviously, Christian, is the substitutions. Kobbie Mainoo was an unused substitute in game 1 against Arsenal. He went with Casemiro and Bruno Fernandes, which I did think he would do. I think I said to you, the Fiorentina pre-season game was a dress rehearsal, and I was right. A lot of people in my comments were eating me up alive on that, going, he's not going to play that on Sunday, and he did. He played it. And you know what? It actually was okay. I don't think Arsenal were at the races, mate. I do not think they were at the races. Very good friend of mine was at the game. He's a season ticket holder. I was speaking to him on Sunday evening, and he said, well, were United good? Is that why Arsenal looked terrible? I suppose we'll see on Sunday, because I expect if we're that good that we can nullify Arsenal, we should be going beating Fulham, Craven Cottage, Old Trafford, I don't care where it is. So let's see Sunday. This performance means nothing. It means nothing anyway, because you said it, we lost.
Yeah.
If it was that good against the title contender in Arsenal, we've got to go and blow Fulham away, right, Christian?
That's it. Look, the pressure now is on, because, you were, obviously, people would deem that overly negative after that performance. I tell you what, even your most positive of Amorim supporters, if you go and you slip up to Fulham, then it's like, right, nothing has changed from last year. These mid-table sides are still better than us.
Yeah.
And then that's when the pressure's going to mount on him. And Alex, the thing is, I look at that performance. Obviously, a lot of people are taking things from it, and they're saying, like, I mean, that comment is madness. I've not heard that. I don't watch him, I've got to be honest. You said that fella came out with, Howson. You said he came out with that if you keep up them performances, like, where are you going to finish? Well, not very far up the table is the answer to that, if he's being serious.
And Ruben Amorim also said that it proves we can beat anyone in the league. We'll beat someone then. You've got to start beating people now. You've won 7 games as Man United manager. I'm guessing a few of them 7 were against Ipswich, Southampton and Leicester. I certainly know 3 of them were off the top of my head. So that means 4 of your wins is, not good at all.
No, Alice, and the thing is, the problem is with this system, in my eyes, so you've got Mbeumo, and you've also got Cunha. You're going to get them deep runs. Sorry, there's a bit of a noise.
Yeah, sorry.
You're going to get them deep runs. However, it felt a bit congested as well. It felt like they wanted to do the same thing. Ahmad does offer you something different, because he will hold the width and he will cut in a lot. And I know a lot of people could say, oh, look, he's spam shooting and, he's trying for the spectacular all the time. Yeah, but if he doesn't, who is going to? He kind of needs to make something happen. In my opinion, it was very flat until he did enter the field. And when, he did have a bit of possession. You did press him back a few times. There was never a real moment, Alex, apart from a couple of scrappy times where I thought, they could get a goal there. Yeah. There was never really anything. Cunha had some really good driving runs, some great signs from him. I already said he was one of the better players in the league last season. I knew that was a great signing. All my problems are with this is the fit and how you're going to get the best out of these players, because currently he's not. I don't think Amorim has made anyone better. The only one he could lean on is Dorgu, and I suppose at a push you could say Yoro. They are the only 2, right? But Yoro had a pretty good trajectory anyway. I think we could all see there was maybe a player in there. Now, Dorgu does fit his system, undoubtedly, and I do think he will do well in that position. He's going to be rough around the edges. However, the overall issues, mate, is you need to look good in offensive areas, and you don't.
Yeah, that's it. We've got a comment here from Brett May, sat before Halloween. So it's an early call, but I just don't see how this
Are you using Amorim as your Halloween mask?
yeah, scare everyone off. 3-4-3 on the door. I think I'm very I can't get my head around how people can come at you for saying sack him when his record is so bad.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, it's not like we're on like a 50-point pace and we're going to come mid-table. It's relegation. His 28 games as Manchester United manager equal relegation. That's how bad it is. Ahmad, Ahmad. We're talking about that, mate. Well, the Ahmad situation is my biggest thing, because I thought that you signed Brian Mbeumo, that's going to be your right. Ahmad and Mbeumo, we're going to have more attackers on the pitch. Game 1, we're subjected to whatever we get from Dorgu and the shite from Dallo because he's rubbish at crossing and rubbish at shooting.
Yeah.
It's 5 at the back. There's no other way of chopping it. It's 5 defenders playing. Patrick Dorgu is a left back. Diogo Dallo is a right back. Fulham will beat Man United, Brett says. It's possible. Look, anybody can be. At the end of the day, we just did it. 7 wins as Man United manager. 3 of them were Southampton, Leicester and Ipswich, who are in the Championship right now. So he's won 4 games, I think. Has he won 4 against current Premier League opposition in 20
the Championship this season, the promoted teams are actually a lot stronger.
You're not getting,
they don't want bad sides.
You're not getting gimmies this year because Sunderland and Leeds are decent. So yeah, Christian, look, I think I want to talk about Kobbie Mainoo, and I want to see what people think about the use of Kobbie Mainoo as an unused substitute.
Yeah, I've got a lot of thoughts on this.
If any system leans itself to bringing Manuel Ugarte on as a substitute of a Kobbie Mainoo when you are losing, that system is shit. That's undeniable. Don't care what people say. So, what's the excuses? Why are we subjected to these substitutions where, you know what the reason is? It's the system needs legs, but then he doesn't start legs, and then when you're losing, he turns to the guy with legs over Kobbie.
Yeah.
It is mind-blowing to me. So Amorim could go, well, I'm starting with Casemiro and Bruno. They're not athletic at all, and one of them's way past his athletic best. And then, so he's going to go, well, I don't just need road runners. Then you're losing 1-0 and you bring on Ugarte over Mainoo. It's just...
It doesn't make sense to me, and I think if you look at this, if you just strip this back with Kobbie Mainoo, you know I'm a fan of Mainoo when he came through.
Yeah.
Now, if you strip this back to the basics, you go, well, where does he fit in the Premier League then? Who does he start for? Because I would go as far as saying Kobbie Mainoo starts for everyone outside the top 6, maybe even a couple inside the top 6.
Yeah.
Right? He certainly puts his name in the hat for a few in the top 6. And he'd be a rotation player at the very least. Now, you finished 15th last year, bro. You've lost your first game of the season this year, and this guy can't get minutes. Now, that does not make sense at a core, and even your biggest Amorim supporters cannot tell me that makes sense. You are watching Manuel Ugarte. Did they not see him turn round and try his best for an assist for Arsenal?
Yeah.
You can't tell me that these are the best decisions. It does not make sense.
No, you're right. Got Ryan in the chat. How's it going, Ryan? Well, I find out he's signing 3 attackers from 3 very different team systems. Wolves, Brentford, Leipzig. It's a good point. Such a weird blend of frontline. Amorim wanted Watkins. Yeah, it looks like they stepped in with the Sesko signing over Watkins. But you're right. I mean, like, Mbeumo plays on the right. Obviously, the only one it fits really is Cunha, and in typical Amorim fashion, Cunha was out of position on Sunday. Have I calmed down? I have. I think that's why I wanted to do a bit of a live, Ryan, just to show that I'm not a complete lunatic. I'm just sick of losing games, Ryan, and like I've been reading the stats out. Ruben Amorim, he's got 27 points in 28 games. You don't need to project this over 38 to know it's relegation form, and to get people in the chat on Sunday having a go at me for saying I don't believe in his philosophy. And people just blind witnessing this guy is incredible. So, look, I'm really disappointed with the Kobbie Mainoo stuff. I've seen this guy play in a midfield 2 for England in a Euros final.
Yeah.
And I just want anybody to, if they're watching this retrospectively or even now, if Gareth Southgate came in last November, had amassed 27 points in 28 games, and was playing a back five at Old Trafford and leaving out Amad Diallo and Kobe Mainoo for effectively Diogo Dalot and Bruno Fernandes out of position, would you be happy? Or is it because he's a posh speaking Portuguese olive skin maestro that makes you look at this differently? Because I don't believe Gareth Southgate would be getting the blind witness approach to this. I think it's a Ruben Amorim thing, and this fan base is obsessed with him being the next big manager at Man United. What if he isn't? Are you asking yourself those questions? Because he could easily not be, and that's my biggest thing on this is he's getting away with it from a lot of people's perspectives, and that's what is really frustrating, Christian. And I don't even know. I honestly just don't even know what to expect Sunday. I mean, it's Sunday a must win.
Sunday is. I mean, if you go and drop points there, like I said before, he's going to come under some pelters because you're going to get your average fans that are like, well, this hasn't improved. And then it's going to be like, well, even that guy that's coming out with, if we play like this all season, where are we going to finish? Well, that sort of answers that question then, doesn't it? And it ain't going to be very much better than the previous year, is the answer to it. So, yeah, it's huge. I think, look, if Amorim's going to stick with this, which... here is my biggest concern, and look, I am bored of going on about this formation thing.
Yeah.
However, it is prominent because I've never seen a manager so stuck in the mud, like stuck in his ways, so arrogant that he's just going to say, this either works or I fall on my sword. Mate, you are falling on your sword. Your spine's halfway down the sword and you're carrying on. You're going to either have to switch this up, respect the Premier League for what it is, because right now it is not working. And I do worry about that long term because, bro, I watch City, right? And people can... A lot of other fans of other teams will go, Pep's has this certain style, he's obsessed with playing from the back. Well, we've got the keeper with the record amount of assists. They came from long balls.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Don't hammer him with just that one... He has not just got that one side to him at all. We will switch up, Alex. You made a great point against, I think, when we were playing Wolves on Watch Long. You said Pep can switch up.
Yeah.
And it's not from game to game. He will switch up, Alex, 10 minutes to 10 minutes. If he doesn't think something's working, he will mix the opponent up. And that's what managers do.
This isn't a default system on FIFA or Pro Evo. Ryan's put a comment there, times are bleak when you want Southgate as your manager. I don't want Southgate as the manager. I'm just putting the proposal to... Amorim loyalists that if this was Gareth Southgate hypothetically, how would you be reacting to it? I do believe it's a smoke and mirrors Portuguese maestro image manager. That's it's not actually what you're seeing with your own eyes on the pitch week to week. That's my point I'm making. Because Gareth Southgate has got a very bad reputation, which I think is a little bit unfair. And I just know that people would have freaked out if Southgate got the job. And I'd love to see what the opinion of people would be right now if Gareth Southgate was running this shit that Ruben Amorim is. One system, 5 at the back. Because let's be honest, Christian, if you want to stick on Southgate for a second, in the Euros, this was a year ago, Kobe Mainoo had 6 months of Premier League action under his belt.
Yeah.
Gareth Southgate started Kobe Mainoo in every single knockout game, including the final, in a 2-man midfield with Declan Rice.
Yeah.
In a 3-4-3 that he shifted to get Foden and Bellingham in the game.
Yeah.
And this is a manager that I guarantee would be hung, drawn and quartered if he was doing this right now. Why is Ruben Amorim getting the same excuses when I guarantee if Southgate was playing a back 5 and benching Kobe and Amad, he would be getting assassinated? It wouldn't be Southgate out, it would be let's kill Southgate. That would be the thing. And that's my biggest sort of proposal to people who obviously are very, very pro Amorim is, would you be applying the same rules if this was someone else? Not even Gareth, just anybody else really.
I agree with you. I think he's avoiding the mocking because when he came in, obviously there was that performance for Sporting against City. There was this massive thing. United fans were losing their marbles. They were thinking they've got like the best thing since sliced bread, and there will be some that will never change from that. No matter how bad it gets, they will say it will get better because we have seen he can do it. You've not. You saw him at Sporting. We've never seen this guy in England. We don't know what he's really capable of, other than we can only judge him on what he's doing right now. And you've got to say, a lot of the decision-making doesn't make sense. Tactics don't make sense. Not going near Kobe Mainoo when you've got him in the squad. You're going with Ugarte. It doesn't make sense. You've got centre-backs crossing to centre-backs. Not ideal. You know what I mean? There's a lot of these things that need to be discussed, and I feel like these guys that just blindly go, no, Amorim's the guy, right? Well, what, you don't even think it's a discussion?
Yeah, Ryan's kind of echoed my points here. 100%. If he was called Robbie Emma Smith, he'd be sacked. It's definitely a flair aspect. It's true, right? It's also how I feel with like Alejandro Garnacho, for example. I think if Alejandro Garnacho was called Dan James, nobody would give a shit about him. It's the cool name and the cool haircuts that get you some smoke and mirror shit. But no, 100% take your point, Christy. And I think that we are in a position with Kobbie Mainoo where, in a way, it's scary that fans are actually leaning towards Ruben Amorim on this. This is my argument to people who are really pro Amorim. If you're playing 5 at the back at Old Trafford, you're benching Kobbie Mainoo, and you're also benching Amad Diallo, you better be winning games, mate, because this isn't a case of... I remember when Ten Hag started the final against City, and he did that 4-2-2-2 shit that worked brilliantly, and we beat you in the FA Cup final.
Yeah.
And I remember at kick-off, I texted my mate, and I was like, you know what? As much shit as I've given Ten Hag, he's picked the team I would pick here. He's gone solid in the middle. We had 4 centre mids playing, and props to him for that. Like, what Ruben Amorim's doing is he's probably picking a team no Man United fan on earth would actually want him to do. If you're losing games, mate, that's concerning, because you should not be getting any leash because you're doing something that Manchester United managers don't do. We don't play back 5s.
I agree, Alex. There's just something on that as well. I think you make an interesting point. So,
just before you go, first time here with twins. We're not twins, actually. No, there's 5 years between, 6 years between us. But I appreciate that because obviously I'm the elder one, so you think we're the same age.
Not so good. Not so good for me, is it?
So thank you for that, Mr. Chow View. Appreciate that. Go on, sorry, Christine. You were talking about the.
So basically, look, with Amorim, if you were to compare to, say, Ten Hag, who I know you are not a big supporter of whatsoever, but I think you would agree in saying Ten Hag showed a lot more diversity than he was much more flexible. And I think as a tactician, look, I'm not saying he's better than Amorim in the long run. Amorim could prove me wrong. He could prove both of us wrong.
Yeah.
Currently, from what we have seen, tactically, I would say Ten Hag is the better manager.
Yeah,
because he has more diversity.
Yeah, you're right. You can't change nothing and lose every week. It's like I said, Amorim's backing himself into a corner where he has to win. He's benching the best players. Also, one of them from the academy, which a lot of United fans, at least, well, I do, love and have a lot of affection for in Kobbie. And he's losing. We got a comment here, Christian.
Yeah.
With these players, if Amorim does get the boot, the next manager will have a much better platform than him. I totally agree, and I think you saw that. Great comment there by Sunless Flow. I think you saw that on Sunday. I think Cunha and Mbeumo are huge floor raisers from Garnacho.
Yeah, they're good players.
Yeah, I'm really pleased with them, and look, I think that clearly you're right. Like, I mean the squad was poor. The signings from Ten Hag was poor, and even the back end of Oli, Sancho, Varane, Ronaldo, Summer was not very good use of 100 million. And look, I totally agree. I do think that there is, and we've not seen enough of Sesko yet, but I do hope that he's good as well. You could get a manager who plays 4-3-3 come in and have a front three that is legitimately good. We've seen Cunha. Cunha's a top player. Cunha's in that bracket now. Rival fans are going, why didn't we go in for him? Which United haven't had for ages. So I totally agree with that, mate. I think that's a great comment and a great point that it's not all doom and gloom. However, the only thing I would say is this isn't Chelsea. We don't know how long Ruben Amorim might get. I'm not talking about the fans here. It doesn't matter what I say. It doesn't matter what your favourite other streamers like. Whatever any of your mates say. It depends what Jim Ratcliffe and his team think. And how long is this leash? We're talking, I mentioned to a couple of people on Sunday in the chat, Christian, how many points after 10 games has Ruben Amorim got overmassed for you to go continue? Somebody said 20. And that's my... If you think Ruben Amorim is going to be on 20 points after the next 9 games, he's got to win 7 out of the next 9, Christian. And this manager's won 7 games in 28.
It's not realistic. It's just not realistic.
So what do you think, Christian? I mean, what after 10 games, forget fixtures, just give me a number. What do you think Ruben Amorim has to be sitting on Obviously, we've lost the first one, so you've got another 9 games. Has he got to win 5 out of 9? That would give him 15 points from 10.
I think, yeah, look, it's difficult to put a number on to bracket this. I do think it is a lot to do with the performances. I'm not saying, look, you can go and lose every single game, but you've looked alright, and you can still peddle that narrative.
Yeah.
What I am saying, though, is you need to see improvements, and what I did see on the first game wasn't enough for me. I think United fans overreacted. Some United fans, in respect, did shout about that a bit too much, because I didn't see enough. And I came away from that, and I was shocked. I really was shocked when I saw a lot of the YouTube world and a lot of the United fan channels reacting to that so positively. I really didn't get that. And I can't imagine anyone that went on them streams, popped onto ours and saw you losing your fucking marbles. They'd have been like, God, I did watch the same game.
Man. I mean, look, I did. Obviously, I've breathed since Sunday. Obviously, Ryan was there and he's here tonight, so... obviously, maybe you've been worried about my blood pressure, Ryan. But, I am okay.
You were very unwell.
I think I was. I think almost the reaction from how great Sunday was that we lost, and I echo Roy Keane's thoughts. Something's flowing on. Fergie likes Amorim, and that's all that matters. I've got some thoughts on that, and I don't know whether again I'm going to be loved for this. United need to move on from Fergie's assistance is the best way I can explain this.
Well, he had the same voice, didn't he?
Sir Alex Ferguson was the greatest manager ever for my club and maybe in history, and he's past his best decision making wise, and that's fine. I think he sold Ollie a little bit down the river with a few comments in the press, and I don't think we should be listening to him with all due respect. We need to have better, younger people making decisions, and we have. I think Ineos have obviously moved him on from the ambassador salary, and I don't think he's making decisions now, Fergie. But I do take your point. Look, Fergie in the past has had big says, and Cristiano coming back for Ollie and then making Ollie play him. I remember Ollie left Ronaldo out. Fergie got clipped after the game saying you should play your best players. So Ollie was like, "Fuck me, man! I'm trying to balance a 36-year-old player here, like, and you're going out in the press." I think it was with Conor McGregor. So I think it's a balancing act with sort of how we deal with this. And I do, Christian, I take your point with we need the performances, but we have got to have points on the board.
Yeah, just to finish that.
That's my question is, how many points after 10 games does Ruben Amorim have to have? There has to be milestones.
Just to finish that, I think, look, you've got to beat them teams that last year were overrunning you and actually look better size than you. You've got to, for instance, Fulham, you've got to go and win that match. If you go and slip up in that, then it's like, shit, this is pretty dire. And then, Alex, then you've got Burnley, and it's like, right, if you then drop points to Burnley and you drop points to Fulham, I really would be. I'd be worried at that point. I think that would be panic stations. Whereas at the moment, if he beats the teams that he should beat, and then in fair enough, if he goes to the Etihad and hopefully fucking loses, knowing my luck, you'll lose to everyone else. Burnley will swat you, and you'll somehow cobble a win at the Etihad.
Yeah, get Nunes on them. On them back passes, man. That was fucking brilliant.
God.
No, I think I think you make a great point. That Burnley game, match day 3, looks so much more different if you beat Fulham on Sunday, because we have to beat Burnley at home, right? This isn't just must win or whatever. It is a obvious must win just by squad situation and pressure. You lose to Fulham, and all of a sudden that's a banana skin. Where what if you lost to Burnley and then you're 0 for 3 to start the season? So you're right, Christian. I think that's the big thing. Is Sundays is the most must-win game too in United's history, and I mean that in with all the respect in the world to previous managers, previous seasons. Everybody's under pressure. Ruben Amorim has no leash left. He cannot start 0 for 2 and be facing a Burnley free hit at Old Trafford with that crowd, because God forbid they get an early goal, mate. They weren't that bad against Tottenham. I know Tottenham blitzed them. They're not. The 3 promoted clubs are decent this year, Burnley included. They probably will go down. I'd imagine one of them's going to go down. Christian, if they're coming to OT and United have got 0 points, I would be terrified if I was Ruben Amorim, because that is a free hit to Scott Parker.
Yeah, I think the thing is as well, Amorim has burnt his bridges with, I think, a lot of United fans. Yes, some are going to still give him some leeway, maybe too much. However, there's going to be a lot of fans like you, and them bridges were burnt last season because of how bad it ended. Well, how bad his whole tenure was last year. So I don't think he's got that freedom. I think he can't afford a slow start. He can't afford to be slipping up to these teams that you should be beating.
Yeah.
That can't happen now. So if that does start happening, then serious conversations are going to start popping up.
It's a pressure job, and obviously Fulham away used to be a routine win. He actually won there last year. That was one of his wins, a deflected 25-yarder from Lisandro
Martinez.
Yeah, again, not Toby Collier cleared one off the line in the last minute, so that's one of his 7 wins, which can go in the scabby category. The only semi-convincing one, I thought we were decent at City. I really did think we were decent against City, and even then Nunes had to silver platter it. I actually thought we were decent money for at least a draw in that game against the Etihad last year.
You know what I would say, Alex, is a lot of these matches, right? I do agree with you, by the way. That was probably one of your better performances.
Yeah.
In that game, I was watching it, right? I was watching it with my dad, and I was like, United just look like they can never do anything. Of course, in typical fashion, you say that comment, they go on to win. But what I mean is, I felt this a lot watching United last year. I feel like you sleepwalk through games, you sleepwalk through performances, and you're like, shit, there's 10 minutes to go. Next minute, you've got Maguire up front. You know what I mean? And then and this is what I feel the pattern is. And then you're like, right, we've left that shit behind. But it's like, have you left that shit behind?
It obviously is. We're seeing it so often because we are behind in almost every game, Christian, and that's why the centre-back up top tactic is being utilised. But that's what's hilarious, is that he will bow to that, but he won't start 4-3-3. Do you know what I mean? It won't. But he won't just go, you know what? Right, we'll give 4-2-3-1 a go. But if it's 1-0 down in the last minute, Slabhead goes up top, De Ligt's whipping crosses into Cunha, and that's what makes me laugh about the penalty shout. People are missing the point that Matthias de Ligt is the one that crossed it to Cunha. Why is Matthias de Ligt crossing to Cunha? Think about it in your lifetime. Anybody that's been a United fan for as long as me, how many times in your life did you see Nemanja Vidic crossing to Cristiano Ronaldo? How many times did you see Rio Ferdinand whipping crosses to Robin van Persie? It probably never happened. This happens regularly. You said it. The last 10 minutes of most United games, you will see De Ligt's crossing, Maguire crossing.
Chaos.
The Bilbao, the Ugarte, was it Casemiro goal?
Yeah.
Maguire right wing, and it was great play, by the way. But it's not it's not sustainable. Yeah, Leon. It's not sustainable, man. And I think that's the point of this system is things just happen out the blue. Say if Cunha got fouled there, people would go 1-1, deserve the point. Probably right.
Yeah.
Assuming Fernandes puts the pen away. But people won't get that. It didn't come from an Mbuemo Ahmad overload, create space, get fouled. It was a Matthias de Ligt whipped cross to Cunha who got fouled. It's not sustainable, Christian. I think just before we wrap up, I want to talk about the goal. This is something that's gotten brushed under the rug slightly with Bayindir's antics. Obviously, we've got 2 shocking goalkeepers. Bayindir is probably the only goalkeeper in the world that's worse than Onana, and obviously he had to play at the weekend because Onana's not been fit. Now, the goal, this is something that concerns me because I'm struggling for tactical formation stuff with Amorim. If I'm seeing this set piece stuff, we're conceding set pieces all the time, and Sunday is unforgivable. You prepare all summer for this game. When did the fixtures come out? 6 weeks ago. Who's the best team on corners in the league? Arsenal. You go into that, I don't expect us to be conceding off corners. If you concede off a amazing ball from Rice, an amazing header from Saliba, fine. It can happen. Yeah. However, if corner number 1 comes in and Saliba bullies Mason Mount and Bayindir while Matthias de Ligt is marking the back post space, I'm not going to be happy. What is the preparation in this team? Where's the coaching? You've had all summer to prepare for this game, and in game 1, Mason Mount is picking up William Saliba while Matthias de Ligt is picking up space / the back post. Mason
Yeah.
Mount gets bullied, Bayindir flaps, Calafiori gets a tap in, de Ligt does nothing. Now Matthias de Ligt's a good defender. He's not standing there. He's not watching this unfold when he should. What I'm saying is, de Ligt isn't at fault here. De Ligt, unless he took charge of the situation and changed things, de Ligt is doing what he's been told.
Yeah.
He's been told to mark space. I'm assuming because Arsenal do that weird corner shit. No. Matthias de Ligt, you are looking at Mason Mount struggling in a wrestling match with William Saliba on our goalkeeper who's not good in the air. You take charge of that situation. Or better still, Christian, Ruben Amorim puts Matthias de Ligt on William Saliba before kick-off. I mean, can you grasp why that is leading to my point with Amorim? Where it's like, where's the preparation, man? You've had all summer, 10 minutes into the season. Okay, Bayindir's crap, we know he is. However, you've got Mason Mount on Saliba and not Matthias de Ligt. It's madness.
No, look, it's fair questions, isn't it? And this is what we were saying before. That's what, David was saying on his channel. And it's about the coaching. What are you seeing in terms of improvements? These are the areas you look at your manager for. We know Arsenal are strong off corners. Now, like you said, you've not got too many arguments if they go and score a mid-corner. But if it looks like negligence, then of course you're going to look at the coaching.
Yeah.
You're going to look at the setup, and you're more than entitled to do that.
If Matthias de Ligt was told to pick up Saliba, and 10 minutes into the game he didn't, and we concede off it, I honestly think most managers would have hooked him. Yeah. Matthias de Ligt's not a bad defender. Like, we can argue his ceiling. I thought de Ligt had a good game at the weekend, by the way. Matthias de Ligt, in my opinion, was told to pick up the back post space area.
Yeah.
And Mason Mount was told to protect Bayindir. Now, you know what Arsenal are going to do. They showed it all last season. They're going to put their centre-backs on Bayindir. They're going to whip a cross in at some underneath the crossbar, and they're going to attack a poor goalkeeper, and they score off it. Mason Mount cannot physically handle Saliba. Matthias de Ligt would have been able to maybe get a body in the way, and Bayindir might have got it 10 yards instead of 0 yards. That's a huge red flag for me. And Christian, I was at the Fiorentina game. They scored off a corner, a half volley at the back post. A gimme. It's happening weekly. This is leading. Forget 3-4-3. Forget this. This Ruben Amorim and his coaching staff cannot defend set pieces, mate. And we're playing 5 defenders and Casemiro.
So that's the thing, Alex. I said this when we went live after the game. The one area that this should make you stronger in is that you've got height and more power in the back line. You should not be conceding off set pieces. Weirdly, you're worse at it. I don't know how that's even happening, and that's where you've got to turn and look at the coaching. Whether it's the defending coaches or the set piece coaches you're going to be looking at, or Amorim himself. But mate, there's question marks. These are the things you need to see drastic improvements on, and that's why these next coming games are so fucking important, man. And if United drop points this weekend, best believe you saw this guy losing his head after that Arsenal performance. He'll be unwell. He will not be a well person.
You're right, Christian. And also, like, the reason I'm not happy is because he has to win every game playing a system I hate, players I don't rate, players I rate on the bench.
Yeah.
It's like when I really wanted Mourinho to play Martial, but Lukaku was doing alright and we were winning games. So I was like, look, would I prefer to have Martial over Lukaku? Yes, you know the answer to that. However, Mourinho was picking up games when we were second, mate. We weren't 15th. So that's my biggest thing here. Just want to stick on Mason Mount, Christian. Another guy who's apparently come out of pre-season really good again. The teacher's pet, Patrick calls him, our cousin. Mason Mount is a domino from Bruno Fernandes playing centre mid. I've been thinking about this since the weekend. I've been thinking about it since pre-season. Why is Mason Mount now all of a sudden playing? Mason Mount's playing because Bruno Fernandes is in centre mid, and he needs legs / off the ball work. We've got 5 defenders playing. We've got Casemiro playing. So that's 6 defensive outfield players plus a goalkeeper. That's 7. And now you're telling me one of our number 10s has to be good off the ball as well. That's 8. That's 8 players in the starting 11 that is better off the ball than on it. Mason Mount is one of them. He's not a good creative player. We're suffering from it. People are going how good Mason Mount was again. Mason Mount's played 32 Premier League games for Manchester United. He's got 2 goals and 0 assists. and 5 yellow cards. He's got twice the amount of yellow cards as he has goals and assists since he came over from Chelsea. And this guy is now apparently a fixture in the team. Again, it's a result of, it's the same. It's the Ugarte sub. It's the Mount starting. This system, he's trying to balance things with players who don't offer anything offensively or on the ball because it's imbalanced. Bruno Fernandes isn't a centre mid, so now I've got to have a number 10 that grafts. It's all a mess.
It's counteracting for a bad system with more shitness to bail it out.
100%, mate. That's the reason you're all sat there. Why is Kobbie Mainoo not playing? Because Mason Mount's better off the ball, and he needs people off the ball because Bruno Fernandes is in. It's dominoes. It
is dominoes, and the thing is, it's like, so how do you justify that then to people? You're going, we're playing a worse player to support a system, right? Now that's fine if you're Chelsea when you were winning the league with this system.
Yeah.
You are struggling. You are floundering in the Premier League, right? Last year was probably one of the worst seasons we've ever seen from Manchester United. Now, you can't be saying we're not playing clearly better players to allow for a system that also isn't working. It don't
so
add
true, mate. That's my thing here. Like, if you're benching Kobbie and Ahmad,
you've got to be fucking winning games, Alex. Yeah, you
got to be winning games, mate, and you've got to be convincingly winning games, in my opinion. Because I want better footballers playing for Man United. I want the players on the pitch that are technically better. We've got a number 10 here who's got 2 goals, 0 assists in 32 Premier League games at starting.
Yeah.
Number 10. Because it's a domino effect from Bruno Fernandes playing out of position. Diogo Dalot's playing over Ahmad because it's Arsenal at home and they're good. And my system needs 5 defenders again. It's a fucking shambles. Just before we wrap up, I want to talk about the team. And the last point I'm going to talk about is, for everybody that's sort of saying, semi-supporting this nonsense, I think look at the starting 11 at the weekend, and I'm just going to give you one player change. Luke Shaw out, Kobbie Mainoo in. 4, 2, 3, 1.
Yeah.
Forget Mount as the 9, that'll be Sesko. So, Sesko in for Mount as well, but that's just a situation change, not a tactical change. If you bring Kobbie Mainoo in for Luke Shaw and play 4-2-3-1, this is your team, Christian. You've got 2 full-backs at full-back. You've got Yoro and De Ligt making might be a very, very good partnership there. Bit of ball playing, leadership, pace in Yoro. You've then got Casemiro, Mainoo, Fernandes as the 10. Not a bad 3. I appreciate we probably need an upgrade on Casemiro, hence why we're in the market for a centre mid. Then you've got Cunha and Buemo either side of Sesko. That's a 4-2-3-1. I changed one player there, Christian. I'm not going all out attack here. I'm taking out a washed up left back in Luke Shaw at centre back for star boy Kobbie Mainoo.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, I've just got you 11 players in their positions.
I agree. And what I'm going to say about that, Alex, is a lot of these United fans couldn't seriously tell me I'm wrong in saying if you went to a 4-2-3-1 or you went to a 4-3-3 that you would get, I'd say you'd be nearer top 6 than you would be mid-table, put it that way. Now, currently, do you have that much faith that this is going to work and you're going to be nearer top 6 than you are mid-table as things stand? No, because you're already seeing these signs. You're already seeing Ahmad, one of the best players from last year, is being left out the side. Because we can't go too risky because it's Arsenal. So you've already bottle jobbed it game day 1. And one of your best players from last year is now on the bench. Which how long before he's unhappy with that? Alex, I said to you, is he? Now. Yeah, I said to you, is he going to be unhappy with being told he's going to have to be a wing back? Now, yeah, I bet he is going home a bit pissed off. Being told he's going to have to play on the bench, that's a fucking whole different conversation in itself.
Christian, I've not even seen the team. I've not even seen the team for Sunday. All I want people to, listening to this, take one of them back 3 out. I don't know who the back 3 is. If it's them 3 again, take Shaw off and Mainoo, and look at that starting 11 on Sunday with that one change, and tell me if that would not be better. And ultimately, part of me thinks the reason Amorim won't do that is in case it is better, and he's completely fucked down because he says he can't coach a 4-3-3 or a 4-2-3-1.
Yeah, mate, this has now got to a point where he can never change it. because out of absolute fear, the new system looks better even for 10 minutes, because then he can't go back, and then if he does go back after that, he's sacked. And everyone will turn on him. So at the minute, it's this kind of illusion that, no, this team is shit in every system. So I'm having to stick with this. But if you never play a different system, there's no proof of your argument.
No, I totally
so there's
point,
so that's why he's doing it.
100%. And yeah, man, it's going to be interesting to see how bad they were at the weekend for Arsenal, because if Fulham come and really get a grip of things against us, honestly, I'm going to be absolutely fuming with everyone on this absolute nonsense from the weekend, that how good we were.
Yeah.
Your beard is cute. Thank you much. Appreciate that. We've had a baby a week ago and I've not had a shave, so if it's rocking, if it's better than Man United's performances, I'll keep it.
Listen, anything to cheer him up at the
Christian,
minute.
Have you seen that guy who does the? He's called United Strand, and he said he's not cutting his hair till United win 5 games in a row.
No.
Should I take the same approach with this shitty beard?
Oh my God,
Alex!
Absolutely Jesus Christ. Yeah, he would.
Yeah, man.
Like fucking Gandalf.
5 games in a row. God, I mean, when was the last time we did that? I mean, it's like, let's just do. Amorim's not won back-to-back Prem games. He's been here since November. Christian, think about this.
Jesus.
Ruben Amorim has not won back-to-back Premier League games, and he got the job before me and my missus were expecting a baby. She's a week old. The baby is a week old. We weren't even expecting when Ruben Amorim took charge, and we've still not won back-to-back Prem games.
Oh God, mate, it's next level concern, isn't it?
100%, mate. Okay. We're going to be back for the watch along. Anybody who tuning in tonight, I really appreciate your listening, and catch us on Sunday for the watch along. It's a absolute must win game too, in typical fashion. So man, hit us up in the comments on Sunday. Join us for the watch along. It's going to be great. I really hope we're as amazing as we were on Sunday, apparently, because we absolutely twatted Arsenal, lost 1-0. So let's hope we're a little bit better, because we need to score and we need to create some chances, Christian. So
that's it. Now, cheers for that, bro.
Appreciate cool stream. Really good to go on tonight and talk through that in a bit more of a calmer fashion. I know Ryan was worried about me. But I will be back, Ryan, on Sunday evening.
That blood pressure will be rising once more.
Jesus. People will be on Twitter. How good Sander Berger? Because we've made him look like Busquets with our shit set up. Thank you all for